Our first spot on the list. Take a look at high level of unprofessionalism. Uruguay defeated Ghana in the 2010 World Cup quarterfinal in a very controversial way. Following a goal-mouth tussle in the final moments of extra time, the Uruguayan striker blocked Dominic Adia's goal-bound attempt with both hands. Suarez's intentional handball resulted in an immediate red card as well as a penalty kick that might have been the game-winning opportunity for Ghana but was missed, eventually resulted in a penalty shootout, which Uruguay prevailed in. Our next spot on the list, Nikola Jokic shoves off Markieff Morris after Morris fouled him at half-court. Jokic was in possession of the ball when Morris fouled him at the half-court of the pitch. Jokic then shoved off Morris. He was upset that he had fouled him and that the foul had gone uncalled. Not to be outdone, he snapped back, charging at Morris and sending him sprawling to the ground as he turned to go. Morris fell to the ground, scowling in pain. Now let's explore a dark chapter in sports history that exemplifies the lack of sportsmanship at its core. Zidane headbutt Materazzi during the 2010 World Cup. In the famous Olympic Stadium in Berlin, France was facing Italy. With a 1-1 score, extra time was added to the match. Italy's Marco Materazzi set off Zidane with an improper statement in the 110th minute. After hearing Materazzi's comment, Zidane turned to face him and struck the Italian in the ribcage with his head, earning him an immediate red card. Number 4, spot on the list. Transitioning to a notorious display of poor sportsmanship that left a lasting stain on the sport. Nicolas Batum gives Juan Carlos Navarro a deliberate groin punch in a basketball quarterfinal match between France and Spain at the 2012 Summer Olympics. With a quick right punch to Juan Carlos Navarro's groin, Batum sent the Spanish guard sprawling to the ground and nearly started a fight on the court. He acted in an unsportsmanlike manner with that. Our number 5 spot on the list. Jules Koundé of Sevilla was dismissed for angrily hurling the ball at Jordi Alba, a defender for Barcelona. Alba appeared to have sought to frustrate Koundé, who was about to toss the ball in during their tussle for possession of the ball. Feeling enraged at his rival, Jules threw the ball toward Alba, striking him on the face. The Barcelona defender fell to the ground, holding his face, which led to Koundé being dismissed. That's unprofessional from him. Next up, we have a prime example of zero sportsmanship that will leave you shaking your head in disbelief. In the third round of their intense fight, Mike Tyson bit off a chunk of Evander Holyfield's right ear. Feeling frustrated, Mike decided that this was the only way to get even with Holyfield. It makes sense that the fight was stopped. Holyfield was declared the winner, and Mike was disqualified and his boxing license was revoked. It was later reinstated, though. Without further ado, let's recount a moment where sportsmanship was completely absent, causing uproar among players. David Abraham, the captain of Eintracht Frankfurt, was dismissed when he knocked over Christian Streich, the coach of Freiburg, when the ball went out of play for a throw-in. It was unacceptable to Abraham for Streich to let the ball pass by him as Abraham attempted to recover it. The Frankfurt captain then shoved the coach with a shoulder, causing him to fall. The Freiburg bench then attempted to pursue and confront him as a result. For the act, the Frankfurt captain was dismissed. Next, number 8 spot on the list, Andrei Rublev was defaulted from the Dubai Tennis Championships semifinals on Friday due to unsportsmanlike behavior. This occurred after Rublev yelled at a line judge during the final set of a heated match against Alexander Bublik. Rublev screamed at the line judge and was defaulted by the chair umpire in a wild match against Bublik. The Russian-speaking official seemed to accuse him of uttering an obscenity. Our next spot on this list, Luis Suarez appears again. Chelsea player Branislav Ivanovic was bitten by Luis Suarez. During a match between Liverpool and Chelsea, Luis Suarez sank his teeth into Chelsea player Branislav Ivanovic during some minutes of the game. Myles Garrett smacks Mason Rudolph with a helmet. In the closing moments of the Browns' 21-7 victory over the Steelers at First Energy Stadium, Garrett tore off Rudolph's helmet and struck him with it, setting off a brawl between the two teams. As a result of their involvement in the battle, Miles and a few other players also were ejected from the game. What a filthy and repulsive conduct on Miles' part. That's unprofessional from him, as that could lead to something dangerous for Mason. In the match against Karen Khachanov, Nick Kyrgios played an unsportsmanlike act toward the chair umpire. After winning the first set, he had gone up against Murphy earlier in the second set, claiming the umpire had started the 25-second shot clock between points too soon. After losing the second set, he made some derogatory remarks about the umpire, calling him the worst ref in the game. Kyrgios was given a point penalty for using an expletives at the conclusion of a second set tiebreak, and he left the court for a restroom to break 2 rackets. Dennis Rodman kicks the cameraman. Rodman stumbled on the floor close to a cameraman that was positioned slightly past the end line while chasing a rebound of a free throw in a game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Feeling hurt at his tumble, he went on to kick the cameraman. He struck a defenseless man by himself, which is quite unprofessional of him. He received a large fine along with a suspension. Number 13 spot on the list. TJ Lang purposefully by Robinson gets kicked in the groin. During a 2011 Packers-Vikings game, Robinson gave TJ Lang a brutal kick stab to the side of his groin. That was deliberate, unsportsmanlike, and it should not be associated with the fundamental ideals of any sport. Eden Hazard gets frustrated and kicks the ball boy. During Swansea's second leg of the League Cup semi-final against the Blues, as the ball slid out for a corner, Charlie the ball boy protected the ball from Hazard to waste time. There were only 10 minutes remaining in the match when panic struck for Chelsea, trailing 2-0 from the first leg. Charlie's drama and Hazard's aggravation with the condition of play caused Hazard to kick the teenager as he attempted to get the ball from him. Hazard act got him a red card. Next is number 15 spot on the list. After making a racial gesture towards Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Yu Darvish during Game 3 of the World Series on Friday night, Yuli Gurriel of the Houston Astros has been suspended. On Friday, Gurriel smashed a home run off Darvish in the second inning. The Astros player was seen by TV cameras in the dugout making what looked like a slant eye sign. Additionally, he called a Chinese child chinito, a term used in Spanish slang. After acting unsportsmanlike toward Alozie, Lauren James is suspended for 2 games in the 87th minute of the final 16 tie between England and Nigeria on Monday in Brisbane. She purposefully stamps on Alozie's after James fouls her while she tries to get back up. This act resulted in her receiving a red card